Okay, I'm going to try to be brief because I know sometimes I talk too much. This is going to be just kind of an overview on how to use the Templett app that you use in your web browser. You can see that I'm at templett.com, design/demo, and then my shop name. So let's just go over here and we're going to play around with one of the templates. This is a water bottle label. And I'm just going to click over here so I can get the full screen. Just an overview of some things you can do, and every template's going to be a little different. This particular one, the things that I'm going to hit on first, let's just look, for instance, at text. Everybody's going to want to change the text and put their own name in there, obviously. So let's just kind of double click in there. Make sure you see that blinking cursor, and then we're going to make it be Beth. Okay, like I said, you can see the blinking cursor. If you don't have that in there, click away and try again. It's like, because if you click on it like that and you go to try to type, nothing's going to happen. You've got to be in there with the cursor. Okay, I'm going to click away again. Like the clicking away thing is I noticed that's a really very beneficial. Come on back there, and you can see this little drop down bar that drops down when you're working with text. So at this point, the font is Great Vibes, but if you wanted to change the font to something else, there's a whole long list of different ones, and you could just pick one of those. If you pick one that's like fat, like this one, in this case it fit, but if it didn't fit, you could just, you could drop the size down, and you can move the little text box around any way you want to. Change the color. Let's say we're going to go with the green theme. Ooh, that really looks bad with gold, doesn't it? Let's go with maybe purple. That's kind of rough looking too. Anyway, we're just playing right now. So you can do that with any of the text boxes. These are all text boxes, and you can see when I touch it, it does move. So you can move it around if you decided that you if you don't want to move the text box, you don't have to. But let's say you decided you wanted to move it around this way. You can move it around like that. You can also reposition it by literally moving the whole text box around. But if you want to stay centered, you can see the little handles, little blue squares that you can grab and pull. Oh, let's see what else. On this particular one, and as I said, each template will be different, but on this one, the little hat is also able to be moved, the graduation hat. You can't change the color on this one. It is the gold foil, so that's not something that you can change. Before we go, you can make it smaller or bigger. You can grab it, pull it out, make it bigger. You can also there's different things you can do. You can just explore some of those options. There's a shadow on it right now that's turned on. You can turn that off. You can also change the shadow. What you're going to want to really pay attention to, though, is you've done something and you really don't like how it looks. Just go over here to the undo button and just start clicking. Just go back and keep clicking until you get back to where you're happy with the change that you made. In this case, I'm going to try to go all the way back. And just remember that at a certain point, I mean, if you've made like a bazillion changes, there will be a point where it won't be able to do that, to go all the way back. But it goes back quite a ways. So you can see I've made a lot of changes. Now I'm back to where I was. Okay, I want to keep this brief too, so I don't want to go on too long about that. I think you can figure that out. There are other things you can do. Any background over here that you see, if there's a background that's in this area right here, you can click on it and you can add it. So it'll switch out this particular one. The gold confetti is got a transparent background, so you can just add that wooden look or one of the other backgrounds. You can also upload your own images, which is a really cool feature. What else? I don't think I'm going to belabor that. You can play with that and you can figure out what's going on with it. The other thing is if you're finished with it, you like how it looks, you can go to the download button and you'll see a lot of different options. I recommend exploring each one of them, and there's information about each one of them. You know, what is what about a PDF, and the 300 DPI and when you can use it. Trim marks if you want trim marks. The save paper feature, which is super nice because it'll put as many of the images on a piece of paper. If you have this turned on, just explore that. It'll fit as many as possible on that to save paper. If you wanted to have trim marks, obviously you're going to have fewer images with trim marks. So if you don't need the trim marks, you could just leave them off if you're wanting to save paper. So let's just cancel out of that. What else? On the download, we can't really do it because we're in the demo mode, but just remember, if you download it one way and you decide, oh wow, I'd really like to have it as a JPEG too, you can. You can download it multiple times. So it's it's not like you're limited. And then you can, for the JPEG, if you're taking it into a print shop that requires what's called a bleed, and that's a sort of a print shoppy term. But you can click on that and it'll tell you exactly what a bleed is. All it is a little extra 1/8 around the entire template, so the print shop is able to cut it to size. And that usually works when you've got something going off the edge, or to the edge. Like this goes all the way off to the edge. I think you'll probably have other questions, but for right now, I'm going to leave it at that. Each template, like I said, will be different. It'll have different advantages. This one, for instance, the little frame can have the colors changed. And you can explore that a little bit further. When you click on that and you click on the More button, you can literally input your own hex code, your own color code. And you can go out on the web and get hex code information for different colors and just input it into right there and get exactly the color that you want. Not all of them will have frames that that are colored, but whenever you see this feature here and you've got an element that has the color showing, that means you can change it, which is really, really handy, super handy. So I'm really excited about it. I know you guys will have some more questions other than this, and just shoot them at me. Meantime, I'm going to call it good, and as I said, let me know if you have other questions. Thanks.